Hi guys, Howzit? Welcome to my Afrikaans-speaking followers, and I would like to introduce everybody to the reason I did not go live this morning. We have named her Lady. She is absolutely the sweetest dog. She is a Scottish breed, but this is a Springbok house, so of course she's got to represent the Bok with her little body wrap on here. But hopefully she'll be making quite a few appearances here on the show. Absolutely sweet dog. We just got her from my animal rescue this morning, and it's been absolutely keen having her here in the house. So I will let her go back. I will take her back to her mother's room. All right, guys. Yeah, it's good to have a dog, family pet. She's really great. She's been awesome. As soon as we got to the place to pick her up, the pet store, all the other dogs were barking. She was absolutely quiet and just kind of staring at us. And when I picked her up, it was just like, okay, yeah, this is definitely our dog. So it was a great day, not just for getting a dog, but for our beloved Springboks putting up a absolute massacre in the killing fields of Millennium Municipality Stadium this afternoon, depending on where you're at. Final score of 52-60. I've got the news and notes here. We'll go through them. We'll talk about it, and we'll kind of see how do we feel about things. Because once again, we have one more warm-up match before the World Cup starts, and there's still some questions that need to be answered, I believe. So we get the game starting off firing like immediately. 3rd minute in, Sia Khaleesi, deep run, offload it to Marks. He gets over across the left side. Absolutely. 3rd minute in, we're already firing on all cylinders. Sia Khaleesi came out, and like I had said in the pregame, I knew that guy was going to be on fire as soon as he came out. And yeah, he was. From the whistle blow, he was letting everybody know, hey, I'm back. So Libok does miss the conversion just slightly to the right. We'll continue. 7 minutes, an offside penalty on the Springboks. This leads to a Sam Costello kick as Dan Bigger did not play today. And it is a score of 5-3 after 7 minutes. 16th minute in, our scrum all day was just dominating the Welsh scrum. I mean, it wasn't even close, man. They stand up in the scrum. Libok does elect to kick once again, kind of what we were doing against Argentina, but he does go to the right. He's 0 for 2 on the day, 16 minute in. 18th, 17th, 18th, 19th minute, man, the discipline starts killing us. Penalty after penalty after penalty. The 19th minute, it finally gets the best of us. Jesse Krill gets penalized for not rolling away. And Costello kicks. He's 2 for 2 on the day, and they do take the lead. And that would be the only lead they had all day at the score of 6-5. 21st minute, that try-assisting magician, Willie LaRue, off to Kanan Moody out wide right. It's his first of the day. He goes across, and man, absolutely great. It was started by R.J. Sneeman, Malcolm Marks, and Jaden Hendricksa running in deep. Gets to LaRue. LaRue gets it out to Moody, and we get across. Finally, Libok hits gold, does convert, and the score is 12-6 at the 21st minute of this game, and it was all downhill kind of after that. 23rd minute obstruction penalty on Stammen does lead to another Sam Costello kick. He is good on the day, 3 of 3. It is 12-9 at that point. And 33rd minute, LaRue gets a kick out wide to Moody, kind of a chase down, and Rio Dyer kind of intentionally knocks it on. He does get the yellow card. We are awarded the penalty try. It's 19-9 at this point. 34th minute, like a minute later, Diolende does a chip kick to Colby. They're chasing it down the left side of the field. Gets in there. Grady bobbles it for Wales, but then Creel is right there behind it, who grabs it, slaps it down, and Libok does miss the conversion. He's 1 of 4 so far on the day. And it's 24-9 going into the sheds. It should have been a much wider margin than that, in my opinion. 50th minute, Costello has a really, really deep run, and this is, I already brought it up with people I was chatting with online. Man, Kanan Moody, he he's got so many skills, and I guess I just didn't pay attention. Like, I knew he did well, but it was like, man, he chases down Sam Costello and just grabs him, kind of a desperation tackle, gets it, brings him down. A minute later, Peter stuffed a toy. He does an intercept off of a Hardy bad offload. That was not the first time that happened on the day. That wasn't the last time that happened for the Welsh. And just makes a good deep run, kind of runs out of gas towards the end, offloads it to Krill. Krill gets his second of the day. And Libbok does convert, and it's 31-9, 51 minutes into this thing. And it was just kind of 58th minute. Peter stuffed a toy off the line out from Monster to Van Staden and Vermeulen. They get it back out to Peter stuffed the toy. He poshes it across. Libbok does convert. He's 3 of 6. It's 38-9 at this point. Grant Williams comes back in the 60th minute. It was good to see that young man back out on the pitch because we got to see him for all of like 9 seconds against Argentina before he was knocked out. And it was good to see him. And he was doing very, very well. I don't want to disregard. Hendrickse played amazing, in my opinion. Yeah, first start of the year, and I know I'm a big Cobus Reinach guy. I was a big Faf de Klerk guy, but, man, Hendrickse really brought something different. Much more of an attacking guy, kind of in the right spots at the right time. I hope we continue with his development, obviously. Not even a minute later, Kanan Moody gets an intercept just over midfield from Johnny Williams. It was an errant pass. He runs it in. It's his second of the day, and Libbok does convert. He's 4 of 7 on the day. It's 45-9. Peter stuffed a toy once again, looking to get that second in the day, but it is held up. Penalty on Wales, and the referee tells them, like, look, yellow card. This is a warning. Next thing that happens, you're getting a card. Damian Valemza, after a quick restart out wide, he does get across, and Williams is sent off with the yellow card. Libbok does convert. He's 5 of 8 for kicking. A couple of minutes later, Damian Valemza, head contact. No red card, thankfully. It was incidental. Both players hit each other in the head. They both walked off bleeding. He does get the yellow card. And a minute later, Sam Berry, they're on the advantage. They're attacking deep. He goes out left, and he does. And Kai Evans does convert, and that is 52-16. 79th minute, penalty on Wales for not rolling away. Libbok does elect to kick. He's about 44 meters out and to the left, and he misses left, so he's 5 of 9 for kicking, and that's the final on the day, 52-16. So, a couple of things we need to talk about here. One is, I think Kanan Moody is the real deal. I love Kurt Lee, and he's kind of on that like Brian Habana, kind of Cheslin Colby type style, but Kanan Moody is so much more. I did comment at one point, you totally forget that Cheslin Colby can tackle, and he did. He had a couple of really good tackles, but Kanan Moody is just, maybe it's just a size thing, maybe it's because he's taller, but he's got speed, pace, good hands. He's good under the ball, but he can also tackle like really, really well. And if I have to go with my A squad right now, I think it's going to have to be, I'm going to have Kanan Moody out there. It's just not any. Does he still make simple mistakes? Yeah, of course he does, because he's young, but he brings something that we don't typically have. And I really am enjoying watching him play. Like his tackles, his speed, his offload. I mean, obviously getting the tries today, that was not a bad thing. He should have had that penalty try, should have been his. It's just it's really solid. And I guess the next thing I want to talk about was Sia Khaleesi's return. He, for the first 10 to 12 minutes, that guy was everywhere and anywhere. And he was in the mix, obviously helping with the first try for Michael Marks. He did great. I don't feel like he overexerted himself, and that's what we needed. This needs to be our starting front row, period. Marks has to start. He's just too much of a dominant guy in the forward pack. I did think John Klein and RG Stamen did really well. John Klein was kind of a non-factor a bit. I mean, he did his job. Obviously, we're dominating on the scrums. Now, this isn't really indicative of how bad I think Wales is. They had a very, very young backline. If we had Dan Bigger, I think things would have been a little bit different for Wales. But I want to say somebody was reading the back three. Jesse Krill had more caps than their back three combined for Wales. So was this Wales? Was this Wales at their best? And I have a tendency to think probably not. So we shall see what happens going forward. But Van Staden did really well off the bench. I think that's another. I love Quagga Smith, but Van Staden does bring something a little bit different too. Damien Diolende, Jesse Krill. Obviously, Jesse Krill having the 2 tries on the day. I know I posted the meme of him, like the guy behind the tree, and Jesse Krill looking at the injury for Luke Onyoam. And yeah, he had 2 tries on the day, but I don't really think, we were playing a pretty lackluster back line, obviously. And do I think Jesse did fine? Jesse did just fine. Cheslin did great. Kanan did great. Willie LaRue, obviously the assist trying magician, and he was still on it. A lot of questions here of who's going to be our starting 15 and our 8 men off the bench, because we've got a lot of options here. Now to get to the thing that we don't want to talk about, but we have to, and that's Manny Libach. 5 of 9 kicking on the day. He seems to get better later in games. Initially in games, he's really bad. And I think maybe that's a youth thing. I don't know. We do need to get that figured out. They did show that both Lucanio and Andre were at the game. And I don't really know. I keep hearing various reports. They said that Andre's been working out with the team. They're saying Lucanio is not coming back. Like his injury is too much. I don't know, but I feel like on games like this, I've said it once and I've said it again. When we don't kick well, but we're able to score, you don't really worry about kicking so much. We were able to score. We would have won this game if he missed every conversion he had. We still would have beaten these guys thoroughly. Do I think this is Wales' A team? No. Do I think their A team is much better than their B team? Not by much. They're going to struggle to get out of their pool. I can see it. I haven't checked the score. I do know Ireland was beating England, which is to be expected because England is rubbish. And, we're still out on the whole Owen Farrell tomfoolery, which I'm sure nothing's going to happen because it's Owen Farrell. But, happy, obviously, for a victory. Happy that I feel like we're gelling. The team is gelling a bit more. These issues, these penalty issues that we had around the 16th, 17th, 18th minute, we've got to shore that up. Our discipline has got to be shored up because a team like the All Blacks can kill you. Ireland's going to kill you. You commit 3 or 4 penalties in a row, Ireland's going to bury you. So we've got to get our discipline a bit better. So we'll see how that goes. But a win, a solid win, a decisive win, a good offensive effort by the boys. So you cannot complain. And I'm going to try not to. We look forward to the final preparation match before the Rugby World Cup against the All Blacks. I'm really excited about that. You guys know me. I do follow the All Blacks, so it's like always good when we get to play these guys. And it's at Twickenham, and it's a sold-out game, and it's just going to be electric in Twickenham Stadium for that match. And I cannot wait to be there or to watch and go live for that one. But until we get to that point, guys, thank you guys once again for tuning in. Thank you guys for sharing and subscribing and all that for me. I do really appreciate it. And it's a good day when the Boks get a victory. Cheers, guys.